prophesied the downfall of this wicked, wretched kingdom known as America. According to the scriptures, it goes by the alias of Mystery Babylon. All right, you can read about Mystery Babylon in Revelation 17 and Revelation the 18th chapter. All right, and we've also been set apart and sent out to the highways and hedges that the Lord Yahweh Shai had spoke, not only to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, but also to exalt the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose real name is Yahweh Shai. All right, and we've been sent out to preach the kingdom of heaven and how the kingdom of heaven is at hand. All right, shalom to y'all. One second, I'm gonna turn these notifications off. But again, we've been sent out here to preach how the kingdom of heaven is at hand. All right, and there was going to be a laundry list of things to look out for. That way, us as believers and seers would have insight on when our Lord was getting ready to come back. All right, and one of those out of the laundry list of different qualifications to show forth that this place is the place that was destined to burn. Look at how out of order it is. All right, that's why I got this title pretty much going into how everything's out of balance, everything's out of order. All right, and just as Rome fell, ancient Babylon fell, before those kingdoms that had such notoriety in the world at that time, as they had all that notoriety before they fell, there was always things that got more out of order, more chaotic. All right, even in ancient Rome, before ancient Rome fell, they uplifted women, just like you see it over here, man. And again, these are all signs and traits to show you where we're at right now, what's going on. All right, you got any points, precepts, anything, bro?
Well, I do got one real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's the book of Job, chapter 10 and 21. It says, "Before I go whence, I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death." And this is America. King David even mentioned it in Psalms 23. You know, this is that valley of the shadow of death. You know, and every which way you turn, like it said in 2 Ezra 7, it's easy to fall. Right, that's America. That's just that last path we got to go through. But everything here is out of course. Even when you look at traffic, that's another thing that started happening in Rome towards the end of their fall. Traffic, you know. Look, you got detours everywhere, you know, women over men. Now children could get their sex changed, so on and so forth. But everything is out of order. And it goes on to say, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness.
It says without any order. And that's exactly what you see here. When you think of order, you think of balance. All right, that's why even when you ask like the symbol for a lot of courts, you have the balance that's right there. All right, because things are supposed to be just. That's where you get equity from as well. All right, not even just something being equal. All right, but things being fair. And when you look over here, there's no equity, there's no balance. And that's why with us coming within this knowledge, that's what the Lord had reinstituted to us, was balance and equity. Because we've came up in this society where it's treachery, treason, lies, deceit, slander, all things that are completely at variance and contrary to what the Heavenly Father deemed good. When you look over here, it's the exact opposite. Hey, that's why when you read Proverbs, it said, you know, go to instruction to the young man, how you learn balance and equity and such. Because these things had to be reissued to us. Because we didn't understand this as we came into this knowledge, man. Because again, we were brought up in this satanic society with the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for the remnant, for Yahweh Shai for his blood, and how his blood covered the remnant. Because as we were here, before you woke into this knowledge, around that time, I say about a year or two, maybe longer, before you had understanding of this knowledge, the spirit hit you of that this ain't right spirit. You know what I'm talking about?
Into the Illuminati phase.
Exactly.
Egyptology, the white man, the devil, because you heard the Muslim shit. You know?
Exactly. And you just start looking at other things because you realize Christianity's through. You realize everything's through, and you're trying to find the solution. So that's the Lord waking you up out of this darkness, man. But because the brother brought up a good point going into even the traffic, all right, and how that traffic was an example of Rome, right? Well, let's read this in Ezekiel 17. You can start from the top, Shafar. Sure.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 17 and verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, put forth a riddle and speak a parable unto the house of Israel.
Right, and the thing about it is our Lord Yahweh Shai spoke in parables, when the prophets spoke in parables. All right, but even back then, those parables were more in a simpler form because things were more simple back then. All right, but now out here, it's even way more of a parable. All right, because you know, it's like a poetry when you read the scriptures. But back then, our people were more poetic. So it was a little bit easier to receive than right now. So we're out here giving a parable through the Spirit got it, bro. You got it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say riddles are exactly that. Parables. Riddles aren't meant for everybody to get at the end of the day, man. You know, they're supposed to. People are supposed to stumble upon riddles. Those that are meant to stumble,
And they make you think.
Right.
You know, you sit down and you got to think. But these people don't think deep because of Babylon. Because of the confusion, man. You know?
Nowadays, as soon as you get in the car, Jake turn on music, you gotta turn on the music.
Right.
Jake wake up, you gotta hit the blunt a couple times. Think about it, you gotta drink 24/7.
Right.
There's a lot going on, so you really can't have your mind to think on what's really at hand.
That's right, straight up. And even like you mentioned the music, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the music, especially a lot of the popular music today operates at 432 hertz. All right, but when you go into that is like when you go into the hertz and everything, like they actually use that to distort your mind. All right, and pretty much when you go into it, the other brother ICR in Carolina and myself, we get a lesson going into this, but it's pretty much a trance that people get put under when they hear the 808s, you know, the lot of the bass. It puts you in a trance right now, man. So you brought up that point. People hop in their cars, and the first thing they do when they get in the morning is something that's unprofitable to the spirit. Then they turn on the hertz and all that, and they go with their daily lives. That's why a lot of these people can't even receive this knowledge that we bring out. All right, because of the hypnosis that they're under right now, which again is a miracle that we've woken up because we were under the hypnosis, which shows you that is a miracle in itself that we've received this knowledge, you know. But that verse from the traffic off the show.
Read down Ezekiel 17:3. The point is in verse 4. It says, "And say, thus saith the Lord power, a great eagle with great wings, long wings, full of feathers, which had diverse colors, came out unto Lebanon."
Now, when you go into this eagle right here, this eagle allegorically or symbolically is talking about Babylon. All right, go ahead.
It says, "Came unto Lebanon and took the highest branch of the cedar."
Now, we represent that highest branch of the cedar. Okay, the cedar is a very tall tree, and it says this eagle came and plucked off the highest branch off of the cedar that's going into the nation of Israel. All right, you got it.
Verse 4. He cropped off the top of his young twigs and carried it into a land of traffic.
So the eagle took off it and carried it into the land of traffic. Okay? Now, when you go into that word traffic right there in the Hebrew, that word is pronounced Canaan or Canaan. All right, which means a low land. All right? But what stands out is the fact that it's going into this place of traffic, but it's also symbolic for the place of captivity that we were going to be sent to. All right? And you see it here clearly. This is the place of traffic. Because when you go into traffic, what comes to mind? Business, chaos. Get out the way, loser. You know, all of that. Road rage. All right? And then you got the stock market. You know what I'm saying? All of that is really known over here in Babylon. And a lot of people, a lot of nations come over here in awe when they see the state of traffic. That's what makes them want to come over here. They think of this place as the land of opportunity, the land of this, that, and the third, because they live in those third world countries. All right, but when they come over here, they're losing their culture that they had came from, and they're being taught bullshit and lies right here in the center of it, man. Okay? They get a loan, come right over here and start building to add to the bullshit that's already here, man. They add to the confusion. And they come over here and they get even confused. All right? Even when it comes to even Ishmael, they're not the chosen people, but just using them as an example. Because when it comes to their belief system and how they worship, there's still a form of piety that's there. When you go into piety, it means like piousness or cleanness to a degree. All right? Because they don't celebrate Christmas. They don't eat pork. You know, they have the more so halal diet. All right? But when they come over here, they change their ways. And even their daughters, a lot of the young daughters, you know, get popped. A lot of them actually have anal sex. You know, just that way that they'll keep their so-called virginity. But you coming over here and you get popped in your booty hole, man. All right? So there's a lot of pollution and sickness that comes with this land, man. And that's why the Lord got to burn this bitch with fire, because it's too much. All right? It's way too much going on right now. 3 months. You know? Yeah, for sure, bro.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 7. It says, "Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. They made all the earth drunken.
Go.
The nations have drunken of her wine," pretty much going into her philosophies, the doctrines, the teachings, the things, but pretty much the way of life, which is promoted here. The other nations, like the priest was going into, they come over here, and that's what they take hold unto, rather than like that song, that reggae song, "The West ain't the best."
Yeah. I ain't even heard that, man. That's ironic.
But yeah, man, the West ain't the best, man. In fact, you know, pretty much Ishmael, they got some pretty, good customs, man. A lot of that is on par with what the scripture establishes, man. But again, they come over here to America, the land of the free, home of the brave.
Home of the brave.
Right. Land of the chief, home of the slave, really.
Yeah, real
you
talk.
know. And they're taught, again, these philosophies and doctrines that wine, which causes them to stumble.
So it's even worse now because now in America, you ain't just gotta come over here. When you come over here, it's worse. When America puts their philosophies in these other countries, man.
Yeah.
That's what making it even more worse than it is. Oh, why you think? I think it was Putin or China. One of them, they said how they was gonna stop showing sissy boys on TV because it's influencing their people. The way of the West, I think Afghanistan said the way of the West is worse than slavery, man.
You see?
Why it's been pushed on these other nations. Hey, as soon as America got out of Afghanistan, they told the women, no more driving, you ain't doing that shit y'all was doing. That ain't the way no more. I'll be going back to our way. But look,
And they complained about it.
they complain about
You
it.
got
Nah, they complain about it. Yeah, it is though. But you see these other nations now that America is starting to become isolated. Everybody want to go back to their own customs, man, their own ways.
Yeah, they see that this ain't the best, man. And it's ironic, even when you look at the name America, all right, it goes into bitterness. And that's exactly what you see here, man. What comes with America, look at the American diet, the westernized diet. It causes death, disease, gives you grief, and bitterness. Everybody's overweight that walks around, all right? It's all completely out of whack and out of order. And that's why the Lord got to burn this up with fire, man, and these damn smartphones, okay? He's going to burn it up with fire. Now, I got a quick one, really quick. I know you said you was holding one, but I'm going to bring this out really quick in Jeremiah chapter 50. All right, because right here, Jeremiah prophesied about this place that we're in. Went into how it's rebellious and all. Because that's exactly what you see here, man. The Lord said, eat this, eat that. You say, I'm going to do otherwise, man. All right, and you do it in a more proud fashion. Okay? This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 50, and I'm going to start at verse 20. It says, in those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none, and the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I reserve, right? And he's going into us here in these last days. All right, as we're here in the midst of our enemies, as the scriptures say, we was going to cry out unto the Lord and repent. We was going to be pardoned for our sins, and that was going to be done in the land of captivity. And that's why you had these camps forming all over the world, chief places of concourse. Because even our Lord Yahweh Shai said it in Matthew the 24th chapter. All right, going into how this gospel shall be preached in all the corners of the earth for a witness. All right, and then shall the end come. So you see this gospel being preached in all the corners of the earth, but it started in Babylon. Where that resurrection of this king, it started in Babylon, man. And why do you think all these events are happening on the earth right now, man? All right, because the prophets are out here prophesying. Now, before that, of course, the Lord is doing it. It's all his program. All right, but he ain't sent his prophets to come out here and preach the gospel, man. That's why you see the end coming. And we were going to complain about the filthiness of this whack-ass society that we was in, man. About how satanic it is. Okay? But it's the point coming up right here in verse 21. Go up against the land of Merathaim. All right? Now, do brothers know what this Merathaim is? What this means? It means this. That's the spirit. Because you do have the word bitter within that, mar. All right? Which really just means double rebellion. Pretty much, but you still have mar within that, like the priest said, it's bitter. All right. Now, what does America mean, man? What's the root for America? Modern, bitter. All right. Right here, Jeremiah is completely, clearly showing you a sign right here that this is talking about America. It even sounds like America. All right. America, Maritime. All right. It means bitter because this is a code for Babylon right here. Okay. So there's codes all over the scriptures where if you spiritually extrapolate and look at it with a spiritual eye, you can point at this place and say, damn, it's talking about America. All right? But again, the reason why it's so out of balance is because it's bitter. All right? Or I'd rather say the reason why it's bitter because it's so out of balance. I'd rather word it like that. But let's keep reading. It says, go up against the land of Maritime, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekah, which again is another name for Babylon. All right? Waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. So he was going to send prophets out here to declare this news and info of what was going to happen to the land of Maritime and the inhabitants of Pekah. All right? They were going to be made waste and destroyed because of the mass amounts of unbalance that you see. All right? That's why you read it in Proverbs 11, a false balance is an abomination unto the Lord. And what usually takes place with abominations, they get burnt the fuck up. All right? Yeah, you got it. That was in the precept too.
It's Proverbs 11:1. A false balance
Yep.
is an abomination to Yahweh.
And it don't even just say something bad, but he goes further and says it's an abomination. All right? Because false balances create chaos. There's chaos that comes out of false balances, man. Completely out of order. All right? That's why he says this is in a balance unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right? Everything you see here is confusion. Even going to the simplest forms, which, hey, for you women, if you wear pants, it is what it is, and I'm just using this to generalize a point. Women wearing pants ain't something that's really supposed to be done, but you see it out here as a normal thing. All right? Men walking out here in skinny jeans and shit, you know? That's not a normal thing, man. Okay? There's a lot of confusion that takes place, but it's made normal to the point where if you speak about it, if you stand against it, Isaiah 59, all right, if you stand against it, you're considered the bad guy. You're considered the bigot. If you speak against homosexuals, transgenderism, hate crime, bigotry, all right? If you say it's good for a woman to have her standard course of taking care of the house, cooking and cleaning, being a traditional standard woman, you're considered a misogynist, all right? When all these other countries that we're going into on the east still have those standard roles, and you see, I don't want to say that they're thriving because a lot of them are still eating off that Western fruit, all right? But when it comes to life, you don't see diseases over there. You don't see obesity, people overweight, women coming against their husbands because they still have that traditional role that's over there, man. You know, my brother's got something to say.
A lot of women in that role are happier as well, man. There's a study that goes into how the occupation of being a housewife is pretty much what women are the most happiest in, man. That's why 1 in 4 women are on mental pills. What's it called? Antidepressants.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, because ultimately, hey, all creation groaning, man. Everybody's unhappy, man. But you got people out here faking it like they're gonna make it, but no, bro, it's about to continue to languish and get worse out here.
Yeah, people are in a completely bitter state over here, man. And like you said, they try to hide it with drugs. They try to hide it with other things because they know they're living a fucking lie. It's bitter, man. Brother's got it.
It's social media. And even with the metaverse situation, that's where you'll put it
Oh,
back
boy.
in further stupid than what it is.
Yeah.
You know? How much more if people actually get into the meta, you ain't gonna do shit. They don't do shit now. How much more we get in the metaverse? But I got this.
Yeah, you're gonna sit there and get fatter and shit. Hey, you remember that movie? It was called it was not The Gamer, Ready Gamer One.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. And you had these people that was in this metaverse, this digital universe, and they had these avatars that looked all exquisite and they was all chiseled and built. But when it showed the person that was actually controlled, it was a fat slob sitting there, man. One of them was acting like a woman. You brought him to the little bar over there. It's an animated avatar man, animated avatar woman. But the woman that's being controlled is a fat bastard sitting there drinking fat as hell and tubby. You know? But again, that's just the confusion. You know? And you know that that's going to start up, man. People are already in the spirit of doing this, man.
Right.
You know?
And it's the thing. You can't just, because going into a metaverse don't change your mindset.
Right.
You can go and put a headset on and still do nigga shit in the metaverse.
It's going to justify it even more.
Bro, you had a woman say she got raped in the metaverse.
Oh, wow.
My thing is, why you just ain't take the headset off?
Damn.
Would you just let it? Oh, come on, man. If I can get this.
Yeah, I'm so, yeah.
This Isaiah 24, brother, chime in whenever. Isaiah 24 and 4.
That's it.
Isaiah 24 and verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away.
You see it, I mean, you breathe, go outside and take a break of fresh air. Ain't nothing fresh about this shit. You know, go outside and get some fresh air. Fuck out of here, it ain't fresh, bro. You breathing in chemicals. Even the chemtrails that are being sprayed. We just got over the Feast of Unleavened Bread a few days ago, right? Even those damn chemtrails got yeast in it. They got yeast in it, man. All right? You got to drink out of a damn water bottle. You can't even drink out of a pond because that smells like rotten eggs, which is a very low pH balance. The fish are dying. We always complain about this. You got Ariana, I remember when we first came to the camp, we would hear him say this constantly. You got literally trash floating around in orbiting space. All right? You have an island of trash. You have trash the size of an island floating around in the fucking ocean, man. All right? I was talking to one of the brothers, I believe, yesterday. He made mention, all right, of what's taking place. You have over there the polar ice caps, Antarctica, 70 degrees higher. With all the storm stuff taking place, it's 70 degrees hotter than the normal temperature that's over there. All right? Wow. The earth is crying, and what does that mean? The sea level going to get higher, man. What's going to make it a lot easier for when the chariots come down, for the earth, the waters to be put out of course, man. You know? All this is taking place right now. It's just all out wickedness. And you only got a certain collection of individuals, man, that are truly complaining about this in righteousness. All right? In righteousness. Because you got your people here and there. It's not right, bro. And 99%, you know, fuck out of here, man. You ain't right. All right? You ain't coming in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, man. You gone. You brothers got it.
You got to even consider the Amazon, though. They said that's like 80%, I believe, of the earth lungs, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a large percent of it. You know, I forgot who put into the lesson how what we breathe out, the trees give back.
Yeah, we breathe out carbon dioxide. That's what the trees take in, and they get on oxygen.
The perfect order of the Lord, right? But look, they burning them down, and with them burning them down, they killing off animals that haven't been discovered yet, animals that we need, you know, so on and so forth. So how much is the earth really being broken down? We only know what we see on the news.
Right. That's right.
When you go into the true sense, we'll be surprised, man.
Straight up.
But again, under the inhabitants thereof, who the king?
Exactly.
Esau. And what it says, Sirach 10, as the king is, so are the people. So that's what everybody the way they are, because of the king, man.
That's right.
You know? It says the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the hardy people of the earth do languish.
Who are the hardy people of the earth? The creme de la creme of the hardy people of the earth, I should say. Esau, Edom. All right, the Edomites. All right, if you don't know who the Edomites are today, they are the Caucasian race. All right, that's why when you look at the UN, you look at all these different seats of these people. That's pretty much all you see. That's in the leadership positions, man. All right, when you look at the NATO and the EU, all right, all those nations that are combined to make that organization, they're all Edomites. All right, and they set the standard of this place. Okay, or I'd rather say like this, they're elites of the set the standard of this place, but they ain't complaining about it, they ain't coming up against it. They live within the standard quo. And then as they had this rule, like you brought up the example of Sirach 10, you have people that are going to follow that. Ain't nobody complaining about it. And he's going to follow it suit. All right? And we can talk about Russia and America all day, which is prophecy, but even Russia are Edomites. Those are even Edomites, man. So at the end of the day, the Lord is using Esau, Edom, to stir up confusion over here, man, and he's going to destroy that. That's why even Esau is synonymous for Babylon when you read it in Psalms 137. The haughty people of the earth. All right, they're going to languish because they've destroyed the earth. And they justify the stuff out here, man. It meant to be Edomites. Eve do it too. Eve do it as well. But Edomites be justifying that transgenderism, homosexuality bullshit. Putting it in the schools. It ain't Jacob's putting that in the schools. It ain't Jacob. It's Esau, Edom. They're higher ups putting that in the schools if you talk to your children. Esau and Eve. But it's Esau that pulls the strings with that. He do that. But yeah, hell yeah, Eve be in the mix. You know? You got one?
I still got Isaiah 24, but I got it.
Sure, yeah, that's a bet.
The Psalms 12 and 8, it says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
Yeah, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. All right? Hey, it even considers them to be the border of wickedness in Malachi. The border of wickedness, they everywhere, man.
Wherever Edom at, wickedness there.
Wickedness gonna be there. Read that again, Buffalo.
The Psalms 12 and 8, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
Well, that's why you see them in South Africa. You brought up the point going into it. One of y'all brought up the point going in. Wherever Esau moved at in these other countries, where they set up businesses and all that, set up other kings, Esau starts living over there, man. All right? Even when we got kicked out of the homeland, the true motherland, Israel, who moved over? Who went over there? Esau. All right? Even in the 1948ers. All right, they tried to build a little prophecy in Isaiah 2, not little prophecy, but in their eyes, sent those gutter rats over into the land of Palestine, changed it back to the state of Israel. Got bombed right there that night, man. You know? Wickedness is all over the place. Wherever this devil goes to, it's gonna be wickedness, man. And they try to say, what's the word? What's the word when they move Jake out of the land and they move Esau back? Gentrification, man. They try to say that you Jakes are the problem. Which these niggas is wicked too. Don't get it twisted. They a damn virus. All right, but really, who made them that way? Right. Who gave them the drugs? The guns, all this to make these people the menaces. To Jeremiah 57. You know? They do all these things to try to complain. You see, they ain't keeping your ways. They ain't keeping your ways, man. But it's Esau, Edom that's doing that. They want to gentrify the place. Let's get these niggas out here so we can move back. You know? That's what they do. You brothers got it, man.
No. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up in him, it's like it. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yet also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. That's pretty much laying backing up the brothers, man. You know, Esau, Edom, he pretty much sets up a military-industrial complex all over the earth in all these different countries. You know, like it says, man, he's neither a keeper at home, man. All right, but finishing off the verse, it says, who enlarges his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
All nations took his ways, following after Esau now, man. You know, like what it said, Psalms 82, I believe the whole earth,
I get it. Let's bring that up.
the whole earth is out of course because of the rule of thereof. Again, the Lord said, destroy him who destroyed the earth.
Right.
Now the brother,
I was going to say, if I can grab that verse 6, it's going to go into exactly what he's saying. He says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay. Right? And that's these Idumeans, man. These self-proclaimed white people, man.
Right.
They got a sword of destruction waiting upon them because essentially you done took something that don't belong to you, man. And you done touched first and foremost, you done touched the apple of the Lord's eye, man.
Hey, when you go into that thick clay as well, that word clay in the Hebrew is pronounced ibatya, which means debt. Accumulated mass, major debt. All right? And they the main ones that have done this, man. Oh, everybody anything, and then try to take the money out of your pocket to pay it back. And they take a lot more than they're supposed to take for real, man. And they're accumulating all this debt, and not even just debt on this side, but they're accumulating debt with the Lord. Because what did the Lord give them? His kingdom. All right? What Isaac blessed Esau with the fatness of the earth, with the dew of heaven. But when you're given that, all right, you got to give back. You got to pay back. You've been given that talent. You got to flip it. You know? That talent got to be flipped, bro. This devil has accumulated debt because he has not flipped anything or created more chaos on the planet Earth, man. That's why he's got to be rendered double. All right? The Lord, he's got to pay back double in his blood. All right? He did double rebellion. All right? Now he's got to do double captivity. He's got to pay that back because he's in debt on all sides. He's in debt with these nations, and more importantly, he's in debt with the Lord. You know? So the Lord going to come and get that tab. He's going to get that tab regardless, man. You got it, brother. I got it.
Revelation 18, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquity.
And what does it mean, reach up to heaven? Because the Lord can see. The Lord sees everything on earth. All right? But the debt that he's accumulated over time. All right? Debt after debt after debt after debt. All right? And the thing about us, you can also read about it in Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter. It goes into how, you know, with the just, the Lord will punish them immediately. That way that they don't have to tally up something. That's why we get judged instantly with things. You know what I'm saying? You got them damn gooks that are out there eating squid and jellyfish and shit. You know, and they're just fine. You know what I'm saying? Eating a dang squirrel, moving a little baby squirrel, and they just bite their head off and smile, man. All right? Let Jake do that, man. His foot getting ready to get amputated. All right? Even though Jake is wicked, Jake get punished immediately, man. Which shows you the Lord still got love for Israel. A lot of them got to die off on this side. I remember years ago at a Tuesday camp, Yar Allah made this statement, man. You know, Jake eats some pork. I said some pork. Jake eats some pork. You know, and they swell up to the size of a damn refrigerator, man. You know, especially when it's a car ass. Yeah, ankles swelling up like a motherfucker, man. You know, but you look at these nations, they can keep on going on, man. That's what all scriptures also saying, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, those sentenced against an evil work is not executed speedily, all right, because it's tallying up. Therefore, it is fully set in the hearts of the sons of men to do evil. All right, but the Lord is allowing their sins to stack on top of each other, as the brothers reading in Revelation. You got it, Doc.
I want to say this. It's also a precept in 2nd Ezra 15, if I'm not mistaken, because it says the righteous blood crieth unto me, and his works are fulfilled.
Yeah, that's enough. Yes, 2nd Ezra 15 and 8. You can pull it up. So I'll bring it in. Okay, for sure.
It's 2nd Ezra 15 and 9.
Okay.
It says, and therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood.
Okay, that's okay.
2nd Ezra 15 and 8. It says, therefore said Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness.
Hey, and that's why the Lord sent his men out. That's why we're out here on the four corners. You think the Lord gonna tell you personally? You think a big old mouth gonna appear in the sky, man? No. But he did it like that strategically. That was a chess move. Knowing that if this message from the heavens, if this message from the heavens was gonna come out from these ragtag men, these so-called radicals, all right, the despise and the spit on the outscouring of the earth, all right, it wasn't gonna be a true message because it's coming from regular individuals that don't hold no high status within the society. All right, but that just goes to show you that's why Paul, who spoke in the spirit of the Lord, went into how the Lord used the foolish things to confound the wise. All right, so the way the Lord is speaking and crying out is in the form of these men. Okay, so read that again.
This is the book of 2 Ezra 15 and 8. Therefore said Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Exercise themselves, that means to practice as well. All right, when you go into exercising, it means literally to practice something. All right, and they're practicing iniquity. Because iniquity, well, the difference between, not that it's a difference between sin and iniquity, which you have sin, but iniquity is the constant practice of fulfilling that sin without thinking about any repercussions happening. No fear of the Lord, man.
Pleasing the flesh.
So you got it, bro.
Yeah, pleasing the flesh.
Pleasing the flesh.
You do it. That's something we fight every day. You know, so we know firsthand. So if we working towards an betterment of ourselves, why you think the Lord, like the priest went in, is going into? Why you think the Lord put us out here? Things that we struggle with in the world, that when we finally came into the truth, what brothers were able to put off? Brothers were able to put off smoking weed, being adulterous, being drug dealers, just not being not really forwarding your mindset of being righteous, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Rather than like what the priest going into with just practicing iniquity all along. You know what I'm saying? Everybody bathing in their sins, bro.
That's right, and even these jakes, because they're not even covered by Yahweh's blood.
That should be no cloak for their sin.
No cloak. So whatever they're doing, they're not covered by Yahweh's blood, meaning when he comes back and visits, they're going to be judged in a very terrible way according to the law. Even jakes that know.
Yeah.
They're going to be judged harsher.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If I can add, he also will be judged according to the law. Why? Because he put his hands to the circumcision. That's it. Like it says in Psalms 50 and 16, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? That thou shalt take my covenant and unknown. So you put your hands on this book, man, you better really be in business.
That's right.
Otherwise, the Lord is going to get your ass.
That's right.
Later.
He's going to get you.
You know the saying, you live by the sword, you die by the... Remember, this is a sword too. Hey, so if you take this, you want to live by it, and you want to fly, hey, you got to die by it, man, you know?
That's right.
Can you read that verse again where it says, profane?
2 Ezra 15 and 8. And I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit.
And that makes me think about Hebrews 12 and 16, man. It says that what Esau being so profane, you know, which profane pretty much means outside of the temple. For one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Right, you see? So profanely commit. Let's talk about the profane people, man. And our people are profane too, though. Yeah. But it's because they take hold up to these, again, the wine of Babylon, man, which has been established by the idolaters.
Right. You know, y'all, I know it's a saying that I believe originated here. It's flood-like behavior.
Oh,
hey, because look, that's what's going on. Remember at the time of Noah, what it said? That the thoughts of people was only evil continually. There was nobody doing nothing towards the Lord, fear of the Lord. It was only evil continually. We living in that same time today. It's only evil continually. And again, it had a time when the Lord told Noah, look, that's enough. We in that time, that's why he said, I will hold my tongue no more. In other words, that's enough.
And Noah was found perfect and righteous amongst that generation, man. Just as he was like to a remnant back then. You look all over, man. The Lord got us remnant out here that are literally found perfect and righteous in this evil generation. Right. You know.
He was building in the midst of wickedness.
It's
like if you was to pan the camera, people walking, and you only see 4 men, brothers on the comment board. But the thing is, what we doing right now seems to be insignificant. It seems to be, they wasting their time. Same thing with Noah, man. talking the same shit for 100 years.
Right, right.
Damn, Lord, you said that 40 years ago.
You know?
But he was still building. But look, you better believe once they felt that little drop on their shoulder, they started looking up like, oh shit,
Absolutely.
it got real, man. But when that time of it, it's them drops going eventually, it's gonna start sprinkling.
Yeah.
What's that? The gas prices,
Absolutely.
inflation. You got it, bro.
No, well, I was gonna say like that meme that's floating around right now. I don't know if you brothers have seen it, but it's a meme floating around about conspiracy theorists, and it's saying conspiracy theorists are 16-0 right now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that rain is definitely dropping. You know, Shalom, Yahweh spring of thought. Hey, and you also had Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, when the Lord was communing with Abraham as they were looking at Sodom and Gomorrah, all right, Abraham trying to plead for it, all right, because he was just, you know, Abraham had that some type of passion that he was, and also his kinfolk was over there, you know, but he was asking the Lord those questions. Lord, if there be 50 souls over there, can you pardon it? Hey, wow, that's the spirit. Hey, the water, brother. The water, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the water spirit. That's the spirit. Yeah. But he asked him that question. Lord, if there be 50 souls over here, could you spare it? All right, and he said, if there be 50 souls, I'll spare it, but pretty much they ain't. Then he went down, if there be 25, you know, I'm just saying.
I think he went all the way to
He
5.
went all the way to 5. He went all the way to any, if there be any.
Yeah,
like none.
None.
And the Lord said, ain't none over here. All right, and as I was said, you had 2 angels that was patrolling the place to get ready to judge it, and you had Lot that welcomed the angels in his house, man, which was mercy within itself. Because the Lord said there was none righteous over there. You know, he was willing to wipe everything out, man, but Lot allowed those 2 men. You got it?
Oh no. Oh, so like,
You got something?
oh no. Did you? What you count?
Well, no. It's okay. I'm just explaining now. I know what you had.
No.
Right
No.
there.
Go ahead. Put your point.
But pretty much Lot, who was righteous, let those angels in the house and commune right there, man. So that right there, that charitable act saved him and his household, man.
Get in the house.
That's that
dream. Yeah, the dream.
Real talk. Yeah, man. But no, you got it, Kadar.
It's in the house. This is John chapter 15, verse 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin. And this is Yahushua Mashiach talking, man. Okay, so everybody's so gung-ho on love. Well, hey, this is love for us being set up and telling you. Say, brothers and sisters, hey, this is what the Lord say. This is the Lord's name. You know, control what you can control. You know what I'm saying? Rehearse the righteous acts to the best of your ability. Man, it's all about love. That was written 2,000 years ago. Bet. A lot of famine happened 2,000 years ago too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of death, and what's happening now? A lot of death, famine. I believe the so-called with the Ukraine thing, they said it's about the cause of food crisis. Yeah. Because I didn't, you know, of course, you know, as we grow in this truth, and then, you know, when we become, you know, familiar with the ways of this world through the spirit, Russia and Ukraine is like the top 2 producers damn near for wheat for all for the nation. I'm like, man, I had no idea. Yeah, so Yahushua Mashiach basically like right there. I'll reread it.
I'm gonna pull a precept out for you after you finish
that. Okay. This is back in John chapter 15. Hey, Shalom, Michael.
Shalom.
Verse 22.
Glad you brothers can make it in the house. Good to see you, brothers, man. Water, brother. You can set it up there. Man, good to see you, brothers.
This is back in John chapter 15, verse 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. So you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if I ain't check you on that, you don't know no better. So you good. So that's on me. If I see you doing, if I'm at work and I see you just doing something so and so, and they like, bro, you the supervisor, why you tell them? That's on me. You know what I'm saying? But if I see you, you know, sleep in your car, it's been 3 hours, like, where you at? Like, say, bro, we can't do that, bro. We can't do that. Now you know. Now if come following Thursday, next week, you do the same stuff. Yeah, it's a write-up. You out of here. You're not needed. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's also, and for a long time, and even through the spirit now, something we're seeing you know, and it's all spiritual and it's all scriptural. When the apostles first started calling themselves elders, everybody wants to be elders. You know, which a lot of those men who come back from One West are elders, you know. But everybody started doing it. Y'all need to stop teaching that 2/3 and 1/3 doctrine. But it's scripture.
Spiritual trendsetters.
Yeah, spiritual trendsetters, man. So this is all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Shah.
Right, that's right.
And I'm gonna finish on verse 23, and then we got He that hated me hated my Father also. So for those who want to play Yahweh Mashiach to the back burner, and then really disregard the high holy days concerning Yahweh Mashiach, and y'all know who, you know, and y'all know what it is, you know, from the Passat, man. You know, so anybody who feels they don't have to, you know, they think they're gonna get to the Most High without going through Yahweh Mashiach, you're sadly mistaken, man.
Right.
You are sadly mistaken. Okay.
It's kind of preset because you mentioned how Russia and Ukraine are how they're known for having the wheat and the barley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and how that's impacted the world. You know, but that show you that that's scriptural.
Yeah.
All right, because that also is going to aid in bringing in the famine.
Yeah.
Okay, gas is already high as hell. What is that going to do with the supply?
Yeah.
That's going to make the supply low, and that's going to make the demand higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but let's read this here.
With diesel too, you know, with trucks, with diesel, they said a lack of it, but even prices skyrocketing for diesel. Now you had truckers come out and say, look, if prices keep going up, I ain't gonna go back and forth with these shipments. Now, how does stuff get into the storehouses? By way of trucks.
Yeah. And we can't forget that we have all those boats that are still posted on the coast that are around them. All right, a lot of them are holding supplies and such. You know, really, America's running off backup stock right now.
Yeah.
All right, it's running off backup stock. That's why you see prices elevating higher, man.
Yep.
So when they make the gas prices higher, as they're doing, it's only going to make the demand for it higher as well.
Yeah.
You know, but everything's on backup right now. But America has such an abundance of it, people think that they're going to be okay. That's why you even read about it in 2 Ezra the 15th chapter. It goes into how victuals shall be made cheap in that day. That way they think they're going to be in good case. All right, that's why immediately things are going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and we're seeing it. But this quick precept, well, really, it's a few verses. But I'm going to start at verse 13 in Ezekiel 4. And it reads, you know what? Yeah. Ezekiel 4:13. And Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I drive them, which goes into the stuff that we're unfortunately forced to eat. All right, of course, you try your best to read labels and such, but I mean, damn. You know what I'm saying? It's only so much you can do.
With the Passat.
With the Passat, just get Cabernet. You know what I'm saying? It don't got to be, kosher. At the end of the day, everything's fucked up. You're rehearsing the righteous sentence. You know, because we got to eat our bread to bottom among the Gentiles. You know? When you continue, matter of fact, Salakia, there was a video that brother sent out, and somebody, it was a Jake, that was tearing through some roast beef on his plate, ended up finding out that it was a breast, because he seen a nipple on it, a human pectoral muscle. Yeah. Lord's will, I sent it on the chat. I sent it on the chat after camp, Lord's will. But the dude's examining it, and he's picking it with a fork, and you see a nipple on it. He was like, yo, just go to show you that how defiled this bread is, and how they're getting to that resort, because they don't got that many cows and chickens, bro. McDonald's, we don't need McDonald's, which is using the example. Filet of fish. Yeah, filet of bread.
Often these are niggas,
Yeah, real talk.
Fish even fucked up now in that polluted water. So,
and then, if I can say this, the Benjamin a couple of years ago, she was, I think you seen that video, she was peeling that cabbage. When she was peeling that cabbage, come to find out, it was like plastic.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Benjamin, she was pulling that. She's like, look, man.
Yeah, the rice.
Yeah, the rice.
That's like, and it's gonna get worse than that, because this is something that it's been going on. So now, shit, bro. Like in the days of Ahab, when that famine took place, they was paying top dollar price for a donkey head, man. That's something that's unlawful at that. Yeah. But the head of a donkey, man. And bird shit.
You're supposed to just find that anywhere.
Right, and it's gonna go into that too. This Ezekiel 4:14. Then said I, our Lord Yahweh, behold, my soul hath not been polluted, for from my youth up even till have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or torn in pieces, neither came there abominable flesh in my mouth, which is really the same thing Peter said too.
Yeah.
When he saw those beasts coming down from heaven, he pretty much said the same thing. You know, verse 15. Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. All right, so he was actually forced to prepare his meal with that, man. All right, which is symbolic allegory to how Jake was going to have to consume that.
Yeah.
You know, and we're coming in that time right now. I mean, people are going to literally be eating mud patties, man, aka doodle sandwiches. You know, it's going to get bad out here, man. They're going to try to justify it in their mind. You know what? It is something I've already eaten that's already been in my body. You know, I'm just saying they're gonna be justifying it.
They'll hit you with that. It ain't what goes in the mouth, you know.
It's what comes out of it.
Yeah. Hey, because I had a conversation with somebody, man. Just to, I don't want to diverse and like to divert, but just go to what we're saying. Like when it came to the jab, I was having a conversation with somebody I was cool with, you know, and I'd be like, hey, man, they just supposed to get mad at the clock. You know, they're just taking it. Well, you know, I gotta provide for my family. And I'm just looking at how I look at it because they don't want to get it, so I'm going to be the sacrificial lamb by getting it, man. But he was justified, so it'll be a life thing for them to justify eating their children. The little Riley's calf muscle right there in the pot, but he was sick, he was suffering. We had to do what we had to do. It's going to get like that. They're going to try to rationalize it in their minds to do it, man. Because it's the spirit of Satan that's on it, you know? You said what? Oh, you funny. Yeah, for y'all, kibas means lamb or sheep. You know, yeah, that's what that means. Kibas means lamb or sheep.
People do that because company brothers were Levites, right? Are you brothers Levites?
No, Judites.
Oh, Judites. Oh, so okay.
From Nigeria.
Oh, okay. Come. Okay. Well, especially this is perfect then, because everybody knows how Britain, especially what they did in Central Africa, to Cameroon, Nigeria, and then how the French basically it's all Edom. How they pretty much bankrupt Haiti when they had their independence. That's why to this day, Levi and them is eating. They were eating mud cakes. Bro, just for them to get back on their feet, how they bankrupt them would be 20 billion. Would be equivalent to 20 billion. I think I may be lowballing that, but it may be for them to get back on their feet is 20 billion, and then also Jamaica, Benjamin, 2 billion, just for them to get back on their feet, bro. Bro, the tribes is doing terrible, bro. The tribes is doing terrible, but it's all scriptural, man. That was prophecy. Think about it, because Levi got their independence. And then Esau was like, okay, bet, yeah, we'll get y'all independence and tax the hell out of them. Bankrupted, bro.
Don't hate them for shit.
Yeah.
Kick ass.
Yeah, beat their ass.
Mm-hmm. This is back in Ezekiel 4:15. Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread with it. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care. Like we're using the example of Russia and Ukraine. All right, they're the holders of wheat, barley, and such, man. But, you're going to see the price skyrocket on bread, even though this is naturally goes into famine. But best believe, when you see them normal bread prices go from, $2 to $10, that's when you know that this is being fulfilled pretty much, man. Because it literally says the staff of bread,
The unleavened bread that you and Elder got Sunday?
Yeah.
Like, bro, I went to go try to get the same ones, bro. It was 6 of them. It was 6 of them in the pack for damn near $5.
Exactly, I peeped that as well.
Yeah,
I peeped that. Yep. And when I said that, I didn't mean that it's going to start with the bread versus prophecy. No, don't take it the wrong way. But I'm just using the bread as an example. That's something that we eat daily. That's all I meant when I said that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to get misunderstood on the camera.
Because that famine is pretty much here. Esau just scrambling, just doing shit. Him and Bill Gates and all them. Mm-hmm. And then the inflation, bro.
Right.
Bro, it's 40% increase on rent. So therefore, a lot of people gonna be homeless.
Look at the housing market right now, man. Houses are expensive as hell.
Yeah. For work, they this month they have no more assistance to get out, and they're not gonna have any more federal aid. So they're not about to get no more help. So within this 2 years, if you weren't if you weren't financially responsible, and you didn't do what you need to do, bro, you and your family about to be on the streets because they said they ran out of federal funds, and they said it ends March 31st.
Hey, and the crazy thing about that, and that also goes to show you these lower end apartments that people live in, when it comes to maintenance and such like that, when this happens, they're not going to be able to help. They're not going to be able to get assistance. So you're going to see a lot of apartments, complexes, and houses just pine away pretty much, man. You know, that's why, you know, people are quitting. Maintenance guys are quitting. They got orders, back orders for like 600, 600 people. They can't fix. Things are just getting bad. It's going to continue to decline, man. You know? But I'm going to finish this precept up, brothers. There's only like 2 verses left. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. And they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their own iniquity. And that's the point. We read earlier, what you still had, I'm sorry, you was reading 2 Ezra 15. You're probably still holding it, huh? I don't think we finished that up. Okay, so lock you on that, but but again, that's going into due to their iniquity, man. All right? You got the righteousness out here, but you got those that are completely walking in iniquity. They're going to end up dying by famine. A lot of them are, man. And the scriptures say for those that go into the field, they're going to go to those fields thinking that there's going to be a lot more natural resources, water, trees, and everything. But it says those that go out there are going to die by the sword. Those in the city are going to die by the famine, and those in the country are going to die by the sword. You know, but again, it's all due to iniquity. All right? Which is caused by this confusion. You know? They use confusion to justify their iniquity. Go for it, Scott.
You had mentioned how, the reason all these things coming is for the wicked, and the way things going. It's Tobit 4:13. It says, Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people. In taking a wife of them, here it is, for in pride is destruction, and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay, and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine. And when you think about the course of America, everything, the lifestyle, what they're pushing on children, sex changes, the music, come on, man, it's defiled. It's every which way. Even my little daughter now, her little show she like to watch is My Little Pony, right? New episodes came out. Not a pony, the pony. Her mother is a lesbian now. And like, come on, come on. I walked in one episode, the pony's twerking and shit, man. But the point, and that's a simple example. The point is how much more on a bigger scale, man. What it says, it says, that great want for lewdness is the mother of family.
We got that definition for lewdness real quick, just to bring that out. Now just type it in Google. But lewdness, I'm sorry, I just said lewdness. Yeah, lewdness. All right. It says involving or being sexual conduct that is considered indecent or offensive. You know, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving into marriage. That spirit is going to lead to a giant famine. Wow. It says licentious, convicted of lewd, and lascivious assault upon a child. Dang, man, you see that taking place right now. Lasciviousness, and you see what America actually legalized pedophilia in certain states.
Yeah. That nominee, she got a low count of locking up pedophiles away. You know what I'm saying? Terrible judgment, man.
She says considered indecent and what?
It says lascivious, convicted of lewd, and lasciviousness involving or being sexual conduct that is considered indecent or offensive. Yes.
Yeah, she pretty much said going into that judge, she pretty much said something along the lines of just because someone owns child pornography, it's not always sexually motivated. Like,
it's child pornography at the end of the book.
She could even define what a woman is.
That's right.
It shows that Eve not fit to lead, man. Women, period. The society.
Even the rulers that were Esau, the top ones, they like women. What happened in, I think, Nineveh, the leader, dressed up in women's garments and clothes. For example, Epstein, he had a painting of Bill Clinton in the blue dress and shit at his crib and shit. But the point is, even the rulers thereof of this kingdom, they got that spirit of want to be woman, man.
Look at Bill Gates. Look at Bill Gates. That's the spirit. Damn, that's the spirit. The spirit always having passed by. Look at Bill Gates' wife, husband, thing, whatever that is, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like a ritual.
Yeah.
You know, that was it on that. That was it on that definition. That was a good precept.
Ezekiel chapter 5 and verse 7. We're going to read a few verses. It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord power, because ye multiplied more than the nations that are around about you, and have not walked in my statutes, neither have kept my judgments, neither have done according to the judgments of the nations that are round about you. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, I, even I, am against thee, and will execute judgments in the midst of thee, in the sight of the nations."
The Lord is going to judge our people, man. And he's doing it on a heavy scale, man. Whether you a rapper getting shot right on the highway, in your hometown, oh, they're always hating. Nah, bro, that's judgment. You know, this judgment. A lot of more of our women are getting judged, bro. Women are getting raped in broad daylight in their own apartment complexes, bro. Jake tried to rape a woman in the grocery store the other day. Y'all see that? Yeah. Bro. Yeah, it's yeah.
Walmart,
Yeah.
signing on it.
Yeah.
He's going to go for it like
Yeah.
that.
And you know what? Luckily, it was 3 men there. I think it was 3 to 4 men to get Jake, beat him down and get him off the woman. But think about the instances where it's not men around, man. Just like that, I think it was Jake in Miami who raped an 80-year-old woman. Like, nasty as hell. But hey, bro, it's going down according to judgment, man.
That was the spirit of vengeance that was on them. Yeah. The spirit created vengeance. A lot of that vengeance is going to come against these proud-ass women.
Yeah. And just think about that. Bro, it's because there's levels to it, man, with prophecy. Just like the priest is going into. You got your inflation of everything going on. The victuals being cheap or whatnot. The famine of the word. When we not out here, when the apostles and elders and ourselves and brothers are like-minded, teaching the doctrine, 100% true, and we not out here no more, yeah, you gonna get it. And them tortillas I was just talking about, six up for $5, yeah. When them shits go to $9.99, yeah, it's time to because even with that, ain't gonna be no more cookouts, bro. Ain't gonna be no more, hey man, let's get together. Nah, bro. You gonna chill at the crib, you and your family, and your household, and y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do for survival.
I got a precept, but I want to make a point first if I can land that, because pretty much you had, I lost my train of thought. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 12. It says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." And that's what we're seeing, man. People are coming with a very cold spirit, man. Like the preacher R was going into, man. These spirits are literally jumping on people to do things that 10, 15, 20 years ago they probably wouldn't have done, you know? But unthinkable. That's what I was going to say. Yes, because pretty much you had made mention of earlier going into how the Most High love. Pretty much the way that the Heavenly Father is extending out His hand right now is through the prophets. So when He pulls His hand back, we're not on the borders anymore, proclaiming the day of judgment. We're not. That pretty much means that the doors of repentance are closed.
That's right. You know, that famine of the word. You know what I'm saying? Like it says in Amos, there should be a famine, not of bread nor of water, which that's coming too. But it goes into a famine from the hearing the word of the Heavenly Father. You know, that's coming. You know, I got a precept after that.
It's 2 more verses. It says Ezekiel 5 and 9. It says, "And I will do in thee that which I have not done, and whereunto I will not do any more the like, because of all thine abominations. Therefore the fathers shall eat the sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat their fathers. And I will execute judgments in thee, and the whole remnant of thee will I scatter into all the winds."
There's going to be a lot of, I was just going to say, man, it's going to be a lot of nigga pie in that day, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm I'm saying? How about I turn y'all in a nigga pie? There's gonna be a lot of nigga pie in that day, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people are gonna get eaten up, you know, and they think it's crazy right now because you can go to the grocery store, you can get some food. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, these people they don't fast, they don't know, they don't practice the Day of Atonement. You know, they consume daily. You know, there's even jokes and memes on Instagram about a man not feeding his woman or something like that. He's got an attitude and shit. Just imagine a day, not even 2 days, a half a day without eating, people lose their mind. So you imagine 2 whole days without them eating, also with the mindset knowing that there's no way that they can get food, man. Right. All that rationality that they had in their mind is going to go out of that door immediately, man.
Yeah, you know, it's us just being fortunate, man, to get our daily bread to eat. Early, you know, I went to sleep late as hell early this morning, bro. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. Did I want to go to the grocery store? But I was able to, you know, cook some new breakfast tacos and hash browns early this morning. That's your pop. Because in that day, ain't gonna be none of that.
Right.
You know, it's gonna be more so boarding up your house.
I still got masks outside.
It's tripping, man.
It be Jake, man.
Yeah. It be Jake, and it's gonna be Jake in that day. It's gonna be looking at people like turkey legs in that day, man.
Real talk.
You know,
we James the Giant Peach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He pulled the dang bird out from there.
Yeah. Hey, you know what the funny prime example of that? When on Martin, for those Jake who was watching Martin in the '90s, when they had that snowstorm, and everybody was just sitting there looking at each other. They was looking at Tommy because he's bald headed. Like, man, Tommy head looked like a milk dud. You know, saying everybody, you know, it was, you know, it's that satire, that comedy there. But in all reality, when it comes to prophecy, it's going to happen. It's happened. There's no new thing under the sun. You know, so it will be. It's going to be sauteed ankles. It's going to be stir fried fingers. It's just going to be some wild stuff.
Real talk.
Yeah, it's going to be freaky out
They're
there.
going to eat the nails and all.
Yeah.
If they ate the donkey's head, bro, and the scripture say they're going to eat, the son is going to eat the father, that's a family member. That's somebody you're close to, you know? So you can imagine these regular, everyday people, the lengths and measures that they'll go, meaning that you ain't exempt. Oh, you know, I work the elect. I'm talking about these people out here, though. You know, they ain't exempt for whatever's to come, bro. It's open season, you know?
But these pigeons and these, you know, and the lawful fowls, these are going to be reserved for the elect, though. That's reserved for the elect. All y'all who didn't adhere to your how about Shemi Ashai, y'all gonna get the cats and bodies.
Yep. And ankles. No,
what you say?
I said an ankle.
I was just gonna say, you know, because pretty much,
Yeah, and I'll bring this precept out afterwards. You got it, bro.
I was gonna read it.
Do your thing, brother. Do your thing and break it down.
How much is it?
It's
Quite a bit.
that donkey with the donkey head.
Well, let me bring this out real quick first, and then you got it, because I know that's a little more to it. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. And it says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." We're in that time right now, right? It says in verse 23, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth it, they shall be suddenly afraid." Like it's written of in Amos, the 3rd chapter.
Yeah.
Shall the trumpet be blown in the city? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? Shall the trumpet be blown in the city, and the people shall not be afraid? All right, so that trumpet is coming, man, because that really goes into an alarm. All right, it's going to be an alarm of war. And it ain't going to be just by ambulance. You're not going to see those on occasion, but it's going to get to the point where they're going to try to fend for themselves, man. So all the people running around and everything, kicking in doors, alarms going off in these buildings and such, glass breaking, you know. That's how you know that there's a problem, a serious problem that's incurable. You know, and ain't gonna be no healing coming back from that. When that starts, it ain't no turning away from that, man. Right. Best believe in that data the brother's about to read about, that was taking place in those accounts. Picking the storehouses open, taking all the food, pure pandemonium on these streets. You know, that's part of the trumpet. You know, and it's an alarm.
And you see it on a real nigga level, what a lot of these young jakes was doing with some of these designer stores.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my last year.
Yeah. You know, going into Bloomingdale's, getting Louis Vuitton, Saks Fifth, you know, just like, bro. And you know what? A lot of these niggas doing that, you're gonna have to eat them clothes too.
Yep, they're gonna eat them.
Yeah. Like that ain't just the problem. The Jake who in there stealing, you look at their kicks. kicks about $300. Jake is out here being niggas, bro.
They gonna turn into chips.
Yeah.
Cause you can't eat the cloth like this, but they gonna cook it till it's black down there and crispy, and they gonna eat it like that, man. You know, polo chips.
That's not far-fetched because in 70 AD, our people was eating leather.
They was doing that.
Yeah.
They gonna be eating polo chips. I'm telling you, they gonna eat shirts, but they gonna have to cook it thoroughly and burn it. That way it can crack apart. I'm telling you what, they gonna be doing that, bro.
So like I remember that when the brother mentioned that, y'all saying that. I remember because when Apostle Makai broke that down years ago. He said, "Oh, you know, brothers wear nice stuff, so don't take this wrong. What I'm about to say, but he like all you niggas who into them Jordans, he said y'all gonna be eating them sneakers.
Yeah, straight up, bro.
Y'all, so the tongue to get shoot, yeah, you gonna try to.
They gonna put it in that boiling water that's gonna shrivel up.
Yeah.
Let me stop.
The sweat that was to get shoot. It's gonna be a sweat tea. Not a sweet tea, but a sweat tea.
Straight up. I'm gonna bring this a little more to this, man. This is 2 Ezra 6:23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth it, they shall suddenly be afraid. At that time, like the priest of the brothers brought in Ezekiel, shall friends fight one against another like enemies. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. All right? So that's just going into like food and commodity is going to be a huge way of friends fighting against each other. You know, causing even relatives to eat each other, man. You know, but again, it goes into the breaking of the staff of that bread. What's going to take place, what's going to bring people to the brink of insanity. All right, Yahweh Shai mentioned it in Luke, the 21st chapter, going into the day, you know what I'm saying, and he mentions perplexity. You know what I'm saying? When you go into that word perplexity or perplex, it literally means to be confused. And that's what's going to take place. There's going to be a lot of confusion that's going to happen, but the beautiful thing about it is this is the land of confusion. That's what Babylon means. So that's an omen within itself. It was sown and rooted in confusion. You see the confusion taking place where it's going to be a lot of confused motherfuckers that ain't going to know what to do when that time comes when they can't eat. You know, the Lord wanted to, all right, y'all wanted to live a confused ass lifestyle. Y'all going to be in complete disarray when I bring that hammer down. You know, that's it on that precept, bro.
That's the 2 Ezra 5 too. Going into when God take away His word, people go be looking for help to and fro, and it says incontinency, which is a lack of self-control.
Yeah.
You know, so when that time comes, think about it. Americans fast food drive where you waiting 10 minutes, they hopping through the window.
Straight up.
You feel me?
Yeah,
as soon as the light turn green, somebody there's no patience. How much more when it's taken away? Come on, man.
That's a good point. Because a lot of Jake losing it, jumping through the drive-through windows like the priest going into. They jumping through the windows. Y'all done give me my fries. Like, bro, ask for extra sauce.
So they'll wait at a Whataburger. You know how long the Whataburger lines be? At like 4 in the morning. Nigga, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they will wait. They will wait for that whole 30 minutes to get that Tony sandwich, man. You know? They eat Tony.
And it's crazy because that's to tell you how lazy Americans are. When you really think about it, the drive-through be back to the street. If you fucking walk in, you'll be out before you even get to the speaker. Like, what the fuck? Just walk in, nobody else in there, but you doing.
Me and that brother, remember last year around that time, you helped me move? I said, bro, I'm going to just go in. He's like, you don't go through the drive-through? Remember I came out faster?
I forgot.
Yeah. You like, you know, because you go, like the priest said, you go in, you have better results. You go through that drive-through. You wonder what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody complaining about a small Sprite, root beer, a float. Like, man, it's too much.
But I'll bring this out here. Brothers, chime in whenever. It says, so this is 2 Kings 6, and I start at 24. 2 Kings 6 and 24, it says...
These are the days of Elisha the prophet. All right, this is right after Elijah got beamed up into the heavens. This is around the time when there was a dearth in the land of Israel. And the Lord was punishing Jake. All right, he was punishing Jake like extremely harshly, namely the northern kingdom. All right, just wanted to give a quick little summary before you read that. What's up, bro? Well, technically, we weren't in captivity yet. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Asa was the king around. I'm not Asa. Ahab was the king around this time. You know what Ahab is, right?
Right.
Who was Ahab?
He was one of the king of Judah.
No, he was in the northern kingdom. He was king of Israel.
Israel, okay, okay.
Yep. You got it. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just that way y'all have a, you know, what he's about to read. You know what I'm saying? Ahab. He was the king of Israel. He's the king of Israel. You got the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel after it was rent. You know, so when you hear Israel, a lot of times it's talking about the northern kingdom, especially when you read the books of the prophets. You know what I'm saying?
In 2 Kings 6 and 24, it says, and it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. Now we was in Samaria, right? Now I say he besieged them. What's going even more bringing this famine when Esau coming like a flood, cut off cities, besieged? What happened in 70 AD? We was besieged. We had to stay up in there. Whatever was there, you had to eat. And when it ran out, now you looking at each other. Not us, but they was looking at each other. Esau, the brother brought it up, Bill Gates, that's a form of besieging in a light term. You know, but when they truly come in, it's this the time we coming in right here, you know?
Right, because look at America has a big ass fortress without walls, but we're surrounded by water. So, you know, it's going to take a little longer to run out of food versus places like that. But we're in that point right now where we're running out of food. The ships are already on the outside. You know, that siege is coming. It's just taking time. You know what I'm saying? But we're literally locked in. That's why the only way up is in the clouds. You know what I'm saying? But we're literally locked in this place right now, you know?
It says, and there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for fourscore pieces of silver.
80 pieces of silver. All right? 80. You know how many pieces that is? That's 80 shekels. 80 shekels of silver was a donkey's head. You know? It's a lot of money for an unlawful beast that's that. And Jake knew better, but, you know, when Jake's stomach started growling, they didn't give a damn, man. You know? This famine that's going to come is going to weed out a lot of Jakes, man. You know? But hey, the beautiful thing about it is when this takes place, we're going to be able to eat. Right. You know what I'm saying? The Lord might send us famine. I mean to say famine. It's a lot coming to say manna. The Lord might send us manna from heaven during the famine. You know what I'm saying? But he might feed you, have a raven feed you. You know, a lot of these birds are building relationships with us as we're out here. The reason why I'm bringing this up is I was researching ravens. You know, because I was just interested. You know what I'm saying? And when you actually research like ravens, they remember people. You know what I'm saying? If you've done a good deed or if you like feed ravens or feed certain birds, they'll pay you back. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna say they'll pay you back, but they remember you. Like they also hold grudges too. You know what I'm saying? But the unique thing about ravens, I was looking it up. It's like they remember you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a relate, that's why even over there, those Scandinavians and such, a lot of them use ravens. You know what I'm saying? To deliver messages and such. They built those Game of Thrones, exactly. Yeah, that's like this. Yeah, they're like a friend. Like that's a bird that has very high cognitive skills and their memory is really good. You know, so if you do good with a raven or something like that, they'll do good to you. Just as a little footnote with the birds and how they think. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's a light thing for the Lord to have a bird feed you and everything, man. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta consider Yahweh said birds don't even gather food for themselves.
Exactly.
But they did it for Elijah though. Mm-hmm. You know?
That's a very good point. That's a great perspective.
Which telling you it's the Lord though. It's
exactly,
man. It's the Lord.
Well, he mentions a sparrow. A sparrow does not go down unless the Lord had set it up. It doesn't land anywhere, man. And in Luke, it mentions a raven. You know? He mentions a raven instead of a sparrow when he reads it in Luke. You know?
And your Aki always said, he said it one night when we came out to camp. He said, Shalom for, he said, he always speaks to the animals like Solomon spoke to them. Your Aki. He said, Shalom. He said, you know, whenever he sees an animal, Shalom squirrel, Shalom raven, Shalom bird, right? Just making that peace with them.
That energy of that bird.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now we're in Now we're in that time though, we going to the next level of the ministry. Yeah. So faith gotta, you know, we're in a time where, you know, faith gonna be taken to a whole other level.
Right, that's right.
You know?
Straight up, brother.
But I read it, it says, verse 25 again, and there was great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. But what other part of the body was?
Man.
That's probably already gone. And you know how when it's like dirt on TBC, what is the little cotton? the shit like the old 70s, not 70s, old Western shit.
Oh yeah.
The little
Oh, the duel?
the little shit that be rolling.
Tumbleweed.
Yeah. And usually what you see, a head of an animal, but it's never the whole,
never the body.
never the body.
Yeah.
So
Solid point.
it was the head. It's just the head. So what the body already gone, and the head that probably got the least meat on it.
They do.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
they got the least meat.
Because a lot of the it's correct tribes that that's from the
Cowhead, the cheek.
Yeah, the cheek.
I heard that'd be good too, like the cow and everything.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, yeah, it has to be least meat, but if you know how to prep and everything, it's good.
Yeah.
Then honestly, my perfect favorite, man, is tongue. Tongue is mostly meat and fat.
Can you speak up a little bit?
The tongue is more than any animal, obviously, a cow, I haven't ate lamb, tongue, but you guys try it, when you try it like on a big spot, it's really good, very tender, it's absolutely like fat, so it never really dries out. So just imagine that you're eating kind of like filet mignon, man. Like in reality,
Oh, it's got a filet mignon texture.
Like it's very
Tender.
very tender, man. And the milk, honestly, a lot of people just it's in their mind like, oh, it's nasty.
Right.
And if you let that family hit, see if it's
Yeah. So when it comes to that donkey head, they had that mind like, well, we ate cow's head, so let's just try to do it this way.
Give me that donkey butt. Them girl.
Jake, they probably put seasoning on and spice.
They probably didn't have it though.
They
Probably ran, they probably had some spices and all that, but they was running low and everything. Not trying to divert what you were saying, but they was probably doing it when they had it.
At the time.
Say what?
At the time.
Sprinkling dirt. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle a little dirt on it like it's salt.
They put a little something.
Mm-hmm.
It says, check this out. And the fourth part of a calf of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. That's what's dung. Shit.
Yeah.
So dove, you're supposed to find bird shit anywhere. So even the Lord wasn't blessing them with dove's dung. That's to tell you how low a state that was, man.
Man, just to add to that, brother, if I may, bro, they was eating all the birds, so it was probably even scarce coming across the shit. You know, 'cause that's the leftover. They already ate the birds, and they're like, what are doodoo at, man? You know, they was eating the birds.
With the book of Eli, Denzel at the beginning, Denzel was sitting in the bushes and he seen that cat walk.
Yep.
He hit him with the boy and that was his food. You just got to be out here just catching food. And then, but look, and this ain't gonna be a regular famine. And this time, the Lord will put the spirit of vengeance on some animals.
Right, brother.
So you might try to go get an animal to eat, and it's gonna backfire. He gonna eat you. Yeah, we're in those times. The Lord will let open zoo caves, all that.
He's gonna loosen it. Yup, man. That's one of the 4 sword judgments, the teeth of wild beasts.
Right.
All the strange creatures they got, like in Mexico, you got the quote-unquote myth of chupacabra, all these different, what they call them, skinwalkers.
Yeah.
These different, all these different entities the Heavenly Father has in these forests and whatnot.
Yeah.
When the Heavenly Father has to come into the cities, shit like this. You got to think about it. Also, because people are going to be fleeing into the wilderness.
Yeah, brother. That's right.
So you see in these movies like Wrong Turn and all these different little horror movies and shit, it's not far-fetched at all, man. The Heavenly Father has, like the brother said, man, beasts in store, wild beasts to slay pretty much.
All these, what was that in Houston? Was that a tiger? That dude was keeping in his house in Houston?
Yep.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, and then people messing with them jaguars. It's like, bro,
Jaguars are terrible.
bro, and they kind of just be out here. I don't know how to get loose, but we know it's the spirit of the Lord. Like, look, I'm gonna let this loose. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hold back. But like the priest is going into, bro, no, man.
Bro, them damn jaguars, bro. I know I might have brought this out of, bro, jaguars, bro. Lions and tigers and bears, I get it. But a jaguar, they might not be as big as a tiger, but when you look at the jaws on that motherfucker, they got the bite force. They got the bite force of an alligator, bro. A jaguar will jump in a swamp and kill an alligator and climb up the tree with that motherfucker in his jaws, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Fuck jaguars. Hey, the scriptures say the animals that we're gonna be illegal to beat, bro. I can't do nothing damn jaguar, bro. No sir, bro. Oh my.
Amos chapter 5, verse 18.
And read loud too.
Okay.
Sorry.
Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Now it's literally, Salaki, it's literally going to be dark, but it's just going to be just even a dark time within itself. You know what I'm saying? No light whatsoever within it. You know, you got the brethren, where the Lord has us preserved wherever we're going to be at. Lord's going to work that number. But it's going to be a very dark day as we're going into all these examples, man. Like we're reading in Kings, 2 Kings 6. That's a dark day, man. You know? Got
It
it?
says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear man, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light?
And you see he's using the examples of animals, which just goes into terror here. You escape from terror. It's another terror, but it's not far-fetched. It's the reason why he used animals, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because as you brought up the point, man, you know, these beasts are going to be on the loose. You remember even when COVID first hit, you know what I'm saying? Remember there was beasts, that was animals coming out. You know what I'm saying? When those lockdowns happened, there was bears who walking in the street looking around and stuff. You know, just imagine when the permanent lockdowns take place. Because the Lord put the spirit on those beasts to do that. Just as we went into how wherever a sparrow lands, the Lord have done it. Yeah, beasts, you know, tigers, bears, whatever. The Lord is sending these animals into these places, man. Because that prophecy is going to be fulfilled. The teeth of wild beasts. He's going to send these wild beasts in these areas to do it. You know? So, yeah, he's using the example of these actual animals, which really just goes into danger on all sides. But that's part of the danger on all sides. Because that's one of the four sword judgments. The staff of bread, famine, teeth of wild beasts, the sword, and the pestilence. You know, he's going to send all of them, man. You know? You got it, brother.
So it said, even very dark and no brightness in it.
No brightness in it. There ain't going to be no glimpse of hope for these people, bro. No hope. You think you got away from something, they're going to be hoping for hope. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be hoping for hope in that day. They're going to sit there, you got the old lady sitting there, it's alive. Yeah, I got us, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hell no, man.
This too shall pass.
Yeah, this too shall pass. Right.
They're
going to have that mindset.
They're going to be praying to Jesus.
They're going to be praying to Jesus in that day.
Jesus, right?
Because it says in Isaiah 19, they're going to seek to their idols.
Yep.
They're going to seek to their idols in that day, man. Yep. So they're going to hope, they're going to trust and have hope so much, you know what I'm saying? But they remember in the back of their mind, they've done all this wickedness, killed children, they was cold one toward another, but they're going to sit back and be like, it's all going to end. We're going to just do this until it ends, but it's not going to end for them. Well, the only way it's going to end is going to be by another judgment or plague that's going to happen to the point where they're just dead. But the Lord is going to have these people suffer, bro. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to just get away scot-free for all their wickedness, man. They're going to suffer. Like you read it in Ezekiel the 24th chapter. It goes into how they're going to pine away because of their sins. Pining away means to rot away, literally, man. Like over there in Africa, you got that skinny-ass Hamite, that mosquito flies and lands on his eyeball, he don't blink.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He just keeps his eyes open and shit because he don't care no more. There's no hope. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hopeless, so it's going to be like that here. And it seems far-fetched, but it's America. It's never experienced it no more, before, but this is the virgin daughter. You know what I'm saying? The virgin daughter is going to be touched, and not only is she going to get touched, but she's going to get ran through. You know what I'm saying? Uncover the thigh. This is written. At once in an hour. You know?
Think about that, a real woman, she a virgin, right? And her first time losing her virginity is just a game, you know? Bro, that's so. In other words, America about to go through severe pain.
That's right.
Severe pain.
Real talk. That was it on that precept, right?
I get one quick one because what you was just saying, the brother said there's gonna be no hope in the time to come. Now this second Esdras 5, and I'm gonna start at 9. It says, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another, and then shall wit hide itself. That's when the Lord take the trick away. Wit is like your focus, your keenness, you know, your sharpness of mind, you know, your decision making too. It says, then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. And then, so because of that, nobody will find the answers.
That's right.
And because what it said, they're going to be looking, what it said in Luke 21, men start spreading them for fear of looking after those things that trying to come on them. They're going to be so fucked up about what's happening today, they can't even fathom what we do tomorrow, how we going to get out of this situation, you know? Who to call on, and that time, you only got fever. You know, but in order to get answers from them, you got to get that thing in you. Ain't no TV.
Hey, if I can't pop the shot. Confusion, man. Like, bro, how you gonna get through this hella school
hey, just to land back, bro, that's gonna be for 2/3 of our people, man. But on the right hand side, the righteous side, this is Isaiah 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure.
Yeah. And if I may expound on that, because we bring that precept out a lot, all right, which should be brought out a lot. It's a comforting scripture, you know, but the final part of that says the fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right, Matthew 6 says, where a man's treasure, his heart is, there shall his treasure be there also. All right, so the fear of the Lord is going to be our treasure in that thing. All right, because we're going to see all the judgments taking place, and that's going to make us not want to even veer off, not one bit. The Lord is going to reward us for that, man. But hey, that's the conclusion of the whole matter. All right, because these people have lived their lives consumed, not even considering what the Lord could do to them, man. No fear of the Lord at all, man. No recognition of the Heavenly Father. So when that day comes, they're going to really experience that fear, man. We're going to be rewarded for our fear in the Lord when that day comes. Right? You know?
You got it.
Oh, no.
Add a little bit more shit first, chime in. Second Ezra 5, it says, in 10, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found, and then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. It's going to be more wicked. The brother brought out the precept of the love of many going to wax cold. We seeing it now, how much in the time when everything comes. You ain't got the phone. They talking about cyber attacks. You ain't got no phone to get on Instagram no more. You ain't got none of that no more.
A lot of people use, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
A lot of people use social media to receive self-validation. So they ain't even receiving that validation, man. It's going to be like, what the fuck, man? Hey, you go into that word cold in that Matthew 24 the brother brought out earlier. Love many shall wax cold. When you go into that word cold in the Greek, that word is pronounced cycle. You know what I'm saying? That word is cycle when you go into that. Which word, brother? The love of many shall wax cold. When you go into that word cold in the Greek, it's cycle.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It shows you people are going to be losing their fucking minds in that day. You know, so not only are going to be to show that cold soda, but literally they're going to be psychomaniacs in that day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Running around, they're going to be like beasts. They're already beasts in general, but they're going to be like fucking beasts in that day, man.
And show, bro, somebody to just say, pardon my French, fuck it, I'm gonna try to annihilate this woman and humble her in Walmart. Not sitting there waiting till everybody lock up and she's the last one to lock up and walk to her car at night. No. Aisle 3, just he in there.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. And just to consider as well, to add to that, bro, a lot of these people are juiced. They're juiced within the hive, man, so they're already on complete bug out mode right now, man. Y'all notice something about these juiced people that you see. Yeah. Like shit's happening to them in their mind, bro. Yeah. You know, remember that time when they was really pushing it? Yeah. And if you didn't stand for it, it was like you was the enemy to it. Yeah. They looked at you like you was crazy and shit, trying your family members. Yeah. I remember my grandma when we were sitting down, she was like, oh, did you get your blank yet? Your SH blank T yet? You know what I'm saying? And I told her no, and she was like, eyes got big as hell and shit. You know, but it's that they're part of the system, part of the hive. So, hey, man, whatever, they might activate something, man, and cause these people to literally go crazy and lose their mind when all this shit happens. Turn that vibration up, man, you know?
Like I say, because I saw something, they're also coming out with a male, what's it called, to keep, not Plan B, birth control. They're coming out with a male birth control, and we know how that affects our women. Yeah. Hormones all out of balance, you know, pretty much altering your mind, like pretty much. These toxic chemical compound-based drugs, these men about to start taking them too. You got a lot of dudes talking about city boys up. Like, it can't be mine. I'm on birth control. You know, it's funny, but at the same time, it's like, bro, our people don't consider the side effects of these animals.
They don't. It's a microwave through time.
Yeah. When you have papaya seeds as a natural birth control, you have other remedies that the earth has created medicines out of the earth. That's right. There's remedies within the earth, but our people do not consider.
You got to consider that. Like, it's pretty much also a damn. That's a curse too. You got to sit there, a woman taking birth control, you taking birth control. Really defeat the purpose of the term multiplying people.
Yeah, right. That's the first commandment that's been given into existence. Yep. Yeah. Real talk. You know,
it shows a level of defiance even that. It's just defiance against everything.
Double rebellion. Marathon. Marathon. Double rebellion, man. They rebelled double of what rebellion is, man. That's why the scriptures say we would have healed Babylon, man. Take all for her pain. You know, but she's did too much. Exactly. It's too much that's been done, bro. Esau's done way too much. He's got to go, and it's going to come within this form. And these individuals that are in the spirit of Esau, Edom, who's in the spirit of Satan, they're going to follow suit. As the Lord Yahweh said, "You're of your father, the devil." All right, just that Esau's going to be punished. They're going to be punished right alongside with their daddy. That's right. You know? And that's what it is, man. And they deserve it, bro. They deserve it. Hey, the funny thing is, we deserve it too. That's right. You know, but hey, the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah for his mercy. You know what I'm saying? We have not really, I mean, we're on the highways and the hedges. We keep the laws to the best of our ability. We're doing what he commanded us to do, which is a mighty work that's being recognized. But in all in a nutshell, bro, it's nothing but his mercy that's going to get us out of here. It's nothing that we do daily or anything, because you can be righteous one minute, but you can go back home and the cameras ain't on you, do some bullshit that you got to repent for. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's his mercy. That's the only way that we're going to be covered from what we're reading about, is by his mercies, and that's it. That's why Yahweh Shai's blood is so important, bro. We're going to really appreciate Yahweh Shai's blood on a higher level. Let's appreciate it now. But we're going to really appreciate it on a higher level when we really start seeing these things happen, man. We're going to really appreciate his blood, bro. You know? Because you got niggas out here in Israel that don't show appreciation to Yahweh Shai's blood. You know? So when they get judged and when their iniquity it shall be in front of their faces, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter, they going to see and we're going to rejoice, man. Lord's going to work that number. We're going to rejoice in Yahweh Shai's blood, bro. You know? In his resurrection. You know? Just have to say that a little quick.
Because Quran brought it out earlier that they shall have no cloak for their sin.
Right.
But when you go into a cloak, also is going into what? A covering. You know, you get in Assassin's Creed, you got the cloak, a covering then. Right? So the elect are going to be covered in that day. Yep. So they're going to have, the angels are going to encamp around them, man. Because why? You fear Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You know?
It says, "It shall this is 2nd Ezra 5 and 10. It shall be sought of many and yet not be found, and then shall unrighteousness and incontinency," which is that just being incontent, you know, lack of
unappreciative,
you know, incontinent. You know, it says,
lack of self-control.
Lack of self, like the brother the elder said, the Jake at Walmart, that was a lack of self-control.
Oh man.
It says, and
wow. Not that wow.
It says, "And one land shall ask another and say," now the lands ain't really speaking to each other, right? It's just parabolically speaking. "And one land shall ask another and say, Is righteousness that make a man righteous going through thee? And it shall say, No." Is the point. "And at the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. And they shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper."
Yeah, man. Everything they touch and do, it's not gonna matter in that day, man. Because they didn't trust in the waters of Shiloh when it was here. And the doors of mercy are closed. And that's why we can end it off in 2nd Chronicles chapter 36. Unless anybody got any precepts they're holding, we can end it off here in 2nd Chronicles 36. Verse 16. Yeah, it don't matter. You know, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, start at 15. Because again, the word of the Lord is screaming out, all right, in the form of his men. They don't receive it because of the messenger, all right? They don't. If the message came from another type of person, if we had fire beams shooting out of our eyes and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Then they listen. Which is going to come to that point when that power comes, a lot more people are going to listen. Not people shall be willing in the day of thy power, you know. But there's going to be a lot of people that are here that are going to get judged for their scoffing, their mocking, how they talked about our garments. Remember, they said the bum camp, all of that. Yeah, bro, they're going to be judged for that, you know. You got it.
This is the book of 2nd Chronicles, chapter 36 and verse 15. "And the Lord God of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place."
Right, so the prophets are out here because of the Lord's compassion. All right, his word, because the prophets deliver his word. All right, so through the Spirit, humbly speaking, all right, we are an example of the Lord's mercy too. An extension, I should say, of the Lord's mercy. All right, because it's not us that's speaking, it's the Lord speaking through us. But he's letting you all know what to do, what not to do. Here ye is the way, walk ye in it, as the scriptures say. All right, but what did they do?
But they mocked the messengers of the Most High, and despised his words, and misused his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, till there was no remedy.
So the previous verse said because he had compassion on his people. So we're out here preaching. This is an extension of his compassion. All right, how much he cares. But they mocked. So what did he do? He destroyed them until there was no remedy. All right, no healing, no form of hope, no sense of being healed at all, no remedy at all. All right, you're going to try to run over here to get the remedy. You ain't going to find it. As a lion chased you out of the woods and a bear met you, you escape from that, lean your hand against the wall, a serpent bites you. You know, there's no escaping from it, man. You sit on the Most High. You sit on your Yahweh's blood. You know, you pierce your Yahweh. You know?
So like I always think of that scripture you just quoted. Like, you know, when you're running from one and just
man.
You do this, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that. It's bro, it's about to be a real life horror movie, bro.
Real talk, bro. Everywhere you look is gonna be something that's detrimental to you. Everywhere you look is gonna be something that's meant to kill you. All right, whether it's famine, the sword, beasts, and you're gonna be sick while you're doing all of it. You're gonna have a pestilence and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be sickly. You know, so at the end of the day, it's gonna be death on all sides. But hey, this place is called the Shadow of Death. All right, so it's gonna live up to that name. It's lived a death, decayed, polluted lifestyle. It's gonna consume in the same exact way. You know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
And hell will be cast into the lake of fire.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I said, if Peter, all the works therein will be burned up.
And that's gonna be the final so-all plague. After and people, I ain't gonna say they could be hoping for the missiles, but at least that's gonna be you're gonna be what's the word? Incinerated. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be like, hey man, you know, that's gonna be the final end all be all plague. And they gonna feel that shit. That shit gonna hurt. You know?
That's why it's called Jacob's trouble. It's the Lord, the Most High, last time putting hell on his people, man.
That's right, brother.
Last stroke, ass whooping when we was little. Last stroke, the last couple ones. Hey, at least we at the end of the ass whooping and not at the beginning.
Straight up, bro. Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah for his mercy.
Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah.
We've been given this word and understanding. We've been given water in a very dry, desert place. We woke up from this confusion. This was literally a spell that was casted out on namely Jake too, but the whole world with Jake. You know, but we've literally, the Lord has risen us up out of this spell. This is high level magic that these people are under. You know, that was a miracle. We rose from the dead. We rose from the dead, bro. You know? So yeah, you know, you gonna do the honors of closing this out?
Hey, with that, you know, Lord willing, the speaking was edifying. You know, to the brothers again, we coming down into those times. As the scripture says, seek ye Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai while he may be found. Right? Because we ain't got too long. If Esau, Revelation 12, he got a short time, we're in his captivity. You got a short time to give right to them. Well, hey, with that, you know, Lord willing, this was edifying. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
And double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to all you out here, my day. Pushing this word with our truth and sincerity, as well as to all you believers. Keep fighting, keep pushing. Shalom.
Shalom. Hey, Shalom. Shalom, dog.
Shalom.
He said Shalom back.